can you suffer from childhood trauma? Hello, and welcome to today's insight. Today's insight, as I mentioned, is going to be about childhood trauma. Now, I have gone through childhood trauma. Okay, my childhood trauma was mainly caused by other children who were feeling childhood trauma from their parents or who had lived their main pain point with their parents at home. I am extremely lucky that my childhood trauma did not come from my parents, it came from other children. But till this day, I still come across some people who have had their childhood trauma caused by a parent, right? Someone who should make you feel safe, should make you feel wanted, should make you not wanted, make you feel like you're safe, you're protected, and that they have your back. Now, I'm not saying that the parent might have thought that they didn't have their child's back. They actually did. But in order to protect them, they needed to break their spirit to rebuild it some other way. Now, if it was done in the incorrect way, this could have long-lasting traumatic effects on the kid. If not, it could be very healing for the child, right? Just like if you take my example, okay? This is going to be physical to compare to a psychological thing. My orthopedic doctor, broke my bone after having fixed it to reset it in the correct way, right? So, because my bone was setting the wrong way, he broke it again so that it could set properly. Now, I don't know how it was setting before because I just woke up when everything was done. But apparently it worked. In either case, all I know is sometimes you need to break something to have it replaced correctly. Okay, this is bone. But let's just say that in a sense of a child's personality, this parent felt the need to break the child's will, to reshape the child's will. Now, I don't know exactly what happened, and I'm using this as an example, okay? Don't take it for fact. But let's just say this child had ADHD or ADD and they could not sit still, right? So the parent had to do something, and I'm not taking away from what the parent did. There are better methods to reshape a child to achieve the wanted objective. We know this. But what was used in the past might have been slightly wrong. But what I want you guys all to take from this is that the parents do what they can, but you as an adult have complete and total power over your reality. And it is up to you to fix the thing that was seemingly fixed but wasn't fixed correctly. You know what I mean? You are in charge of your reality 100% of the time. And if, as an adult, you say, well, my mother did this, well, then, unfortunately, you can't really blame her because now you're an adult and it is now going to be placed on you because of the fact that you decided to continue on this little thing, this little trade, or this problem. You still hung on to it. So it's your issue at the end of the day. Now, this topic is what I'm covering today because today I went to the Salon de Thé Bien Vivre where I generally give readings during the week. Well, not every day, but the days where I go there. And today I met a mother and daughter, actually a family, and so at some point the father and son left and I was helping the child with a light. I turned on a light bulb for her. And I went back to my seat. I was like, and her mom was like completely, um, like, not unaware, but her mother was in complete trust that everything was fine, which is great. But I know some parents aren't. So I told her, listen, I know of the fact that some parents are very don't want their child to be assisted by other adults because you never know, like you never know, especially women assaulters are less likely to be like to show because they look so innocent or whatever. And so you don't think that anything is going on because it's a woman. But a man, if a man's next to your child and helping your child, you're like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. So I was like, listen, I just helped her turn on the light and I came back to my seat. I don't play around with kids because kids are pure energy and they're pure. They're like, their essence has not been tainted yet, and you're like, just like I spoke of my mom being mad at me for telling my sister that Santa Claus was less than real. As a person, right, I am aware of the fact that childhood wonder and childhood fantasy should be kept alive. That childhood wonder should be perpetuated as much as possible to keep it going. Okay? So I told that to the mother and she was like, "Thank you. I thank you for thinking of that." And I also have to say that innocence that the mother was having was very healing as well, because in some cultures, like I don't know, in the States or here, some parents are too overbearing and they don't allow the kid to like roam a bit and experience stuff and push the boundaries and have like some traumas are good because they allow you to grow. Without those traumas, you won't grow. But you don't want the child to experience such a big trauma that their spirit will be broken. You know, you want little traumas like falling, hurting your knee, or things of that nature. Not something massive like, I'm not going to mention it, of having an adult take advantage. You know? But we hear of those, and we hear of a lot of people, especially like the entertainment industry and so on and so forth. And so I'm cognizant of that, and I want to keep that childhood wonder going. Okay? And the reason why it's really important to me is because when I was a child, well, we had a big land. We have a big land still, and so I know of the hours and hours we used to play outside, and we used to go, and I used to be a scout, so we used to go and camp out and play in the forest and have like all these stuff. Mosquitoes are annoying. I am as annoyed by mosquitoes as any person, but the outside is very beautiful and it's very healing and I adore it. All right. But when you cut ties with your childhood side and your wonder for life, you kind of become an adult too quickly and you lose sight of what is actually important. And so, as much as, when you get into, when you meet people who have these childhood traumas, you as a healed person, or you as a person who is okay, right, who has less childhood trauma than them, you can't put your life on hold to accommodate them, right? You need to live your life. If they can come to you in a healed way, in the timing necessary, then great. If not, well, then I'm sorry, but it is what it is, right? So, what I want you to think about is how much childhood trauma did you actually experience and that you still need to overcome? Ponder that.